Coach Jones now here for us to talk over things post-game. Coach, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Coach, rough one for your team tonight. We talked earlier this week about how well this team is at limiting their turnovers, but tonight wasn't the story. Where did things go wrong for this team tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of uncharacteristic turnovers where they were not forced by the other team. We just kind of gave it away, had bad passes. And so when you turn the ball over that many times, it's hard to win a game, especially the second time you play a team. We did that the first time, and we found a way to win through overtime. But this time, I mean, obviously they knew what we did. We know what they did, and they took advantage of our weaknesses, I think.
Yeah, and it felt like the offense just couldn't really get in the sync. I know part of that was some of the turnovers, but what was it that the Cardinals did defensively that made it so tough for some of your, someone like Morrissey, didn't get a ton of shots up, but what was the tough test that the Cardinals provided for you tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think they had good ball pressure, but I think we just weren't cutting hard enough. We weren't playing fast enough, and so when someone's pressuring you and you're not cutting fast enough, it's hard to get open, and then your teammate doesn't want to make that pass because somebody's so tight to their teammate. And so I think it was more us. We just didn't play hard enough, and to be honest, I think we kind of lost the game before it even started. I don't think we had the best practice yesterday, and coming into warm-ups, it wasn't, we didn't have the energy that we needed, and so we started pretty flat, and it kind of continued through the rest of the game.
Where did you notice this team not playing fast enough tonight?
What's that?
Where did you notice this team not playing fast enough tonight?
Yeah, I think mostly in the half court. We just weren't getting to spots fast enough. We weren't cutting fast enough to fill the next spot. And so we weren't able to get into the flow of our offense where you see wide open looks when we cut and play faster.
Thank you for your time tonight, Coach.
Thanks.
It's Megan Jones, second-year coach for Carthage. We'll step aside, give you the final game numbers, and prep you for the rest of this homestand when we come back. Final score, North Central 62, Carthage 50. Breaking down this one for Carthage, a 62-50 loss against North Central. Cal Freeman joined alongside Eric Olger. Interesting quote just then. Megan Jones said she felt this team lost this game before it started. Did you notice that at all tonight?
I mean, it's, again, being up here in the booth, you never really want to cast judgment on a team. But, it just felt like it was just she used the word, again, flat. She mentioned the practices weren't as focused. And it just didn't seem like the Firebirds really had the fire in the Firebirds tonight. And it just, as a coach, I think, you can really take an opportunity or, a game like this, learn from it and say, hey, we came out maybe expecting to win because we already beat them. Maybe we came out just, thinking that, the game would kind of come easy. But, North Central came and smacked them right in the mouth right off the opening minutes. And I think if you're Coach Jones, say, hey, listen, if we're going to have an opening like that against Illinois Wesleyan, we are going to have a tough test if we think we're going to come out on top against a talented, the leading team in the conference with the Illinois Wesleyan Titans.
Well, she stressed to me earlier this week when we talked on the phone that it's hard to beat a team twice when you commit the same mistakes you did when you did the first time. They had 23 turnovers against them in Naperville, found a way to win. 22 turnovers tonight and just couldn't find the way to win. I think this game just came down to the turnovers. It's something the Firebirds have to shape up before Saturday.
Yeah, and, someone that, like Illinois Wesleyan, one of the best defenses in the country. So, taking a look at it, I think something to be said, and Coach Jones mentioned this too, it wasn't even like some of the turnovers were forced necessarily. It was just kind of lackadaisical passes or just ill-advised passes or forcing passes, and North Central took advantage of that. But I think, once Carthage gets back to a little more of their game, maybe comes out of the, I mean, they're going to be fired up to play Illinois Wesleyan, so I would expect this team to take care of the ball a lot better than they did tonight.
Take a look at the final 4 games for Carthage this season. That game on Saturday will be on Marquee Sports Network. Then Wheaton and Elmhurst, 2 teams that are trying to potentially move into the hosting spots of the CCIW tournament. You close the season against Milliken. This is a tough close, especially with this loss tonight.
Yeah, and, you know, really, as we've seen, even you look at the schedule, teams with 3 wins, you're like, oh, well, maybe this is going to be an easier one for us tonight. But the CCIW does not really provide that luxury of taking a night off. And as you can see, they were bitten here by the Cardinals. So, yeah, it's going to be a battle all 4 of those games. And there is a lot at stake for the Firebirds, as we mentioned. And you're going to want to secure that home bye and pick up some of these wins here late in the season.
Illinois Wesleyan did win tonight. They improved to 11-0 in conference play. Now the Cardinals, with a win tonight, have a chance to flip their season around, earn their way back into the first round places of the CCIW tournament. They get bottom North Park on this weekend. Then a big one at Carroll, who did lose tonight next week.
Oh, interesting, Carroll losing, because, yeah, they played really well this season. So it seems like there might be some shuffling at the top. And while North Central might not be in position to get that, you know, one of those top spots, they can definitely play spoiler here. And we've seen that they got talent and they've got a lot going for them here as the season's gone on. So they would love nothing more than to cause a little havoc in the CCIW standings late in the season.
Eric, final thoughts on this one? What does Carthage need to do to be able to potentially pull off an upset on Saturday?
Move on from this and start fast on Saturday. I mean, Coach Jones says, yeah, they didn't play fast enough, and I thought that was a great follow-up question. And I think, you know, a lot of what was implied there was just wasn't the aggression. They just weren't ready to compete the way that North Central competed. And again, you have to believe they're going to be fired up to play the class of the conference on Saturday. So move on and just be ready. Just be fired up. And again, I think you're going to see, hopefully, Coach Jones is going to expect to see a lot out of the practice the next 2 days as well.
That's doubleheader on Saturday. 20-0, Illinois Wesleyan comes to town. It'll be a women's, men's doubleheader. Be sure to come out to Tarble Arena. If not, you can catch the action on the Marquee Sports Network. That'll do it for this one. Want to give a special thank you to our producers tonight, John Voinovich and Laura Stockton, who was exceptional at getting me ready to go tonight. Executive producer Mike Love. Those are our 2 producers that we saw tonight. Some excellent shots provided by our camera crew, Emma Snyder, Addison Gross, Ainsley Stallworth, and Yam Bomba. Replay was brought to you by Ty Lumpkin. Addison Weeks was on graphics, and Allison Kuklanis was our director tonight. I want to give a special thank you to Peter Ferrari and Samuel Boyle for letting me come out here to Carthage, be able to call this game. Very happy I was able to come out tonight. An even bigger thank you to Eric Olger for giving my color commentary tonight. For one final time, my name has been Cal Friedman. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We hope to catch you here on Saturday. Your final score, North Central 62, Carthage 50.